If you want to run profitable Facebook ads, in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how to do it, because the truth is, if you are having a hard time, it is probably because you have the wrong strategy. Now, I've been running ads for nearly a decade. I've worked with over 100 companies. I've managed millions of dollars in ad spend. And the secret is running ads is not that hard. It's just very misunderstood. Most people think they need to master targeting or the algorithm or become some ninja copywriter, when in fact, like, none of those things are true. I mean, yeah, they're helpful, but these are not the most important parts. So in this video, I'm going to give you some secret sauce. I'm going to give you some non-obvious lessons that the masters in advertising understand, and that when you understand them, it will probably make your ads a lot more profitable. So the very first lesson is that Facebook ads are not really about targeting anymore. It's really all about creative. And when you understand this, this totally changes how you might approach your ads, because the old way of doing things was definitely like, there was a time we were doing tons of different targeting options. We had all these different like micro audiences. We could really segment down into really getting to this like laser focused targeting. And now it just doesn't work that way anymore. I mean, like with Advantage Plus, like Facebook's just going to show your ads to more people anyways. They've taken away a lot of the targeting options. And we've definitely seen that like smaller and smaller audiences don't convert as well. And even if they do convert, they're often, the CPMs are so expensive, it's difficult to advertise to micro audiences. So what we want to do is we want to have much bigger audiences that we're advertising to. But if we're going to have a bigger audience, how do we actually target the people that we want? And so this is where it gets helpful to understand how Facebook is finding the people to show your ads to, because Facebook understands everything about every ad that you're uploading. So imagine you're uploading a video ad. Like, as soon as you hit upload, Facebook is going to take the entire transcript of that video, understand every single word in that video ad. It's going to understand all the keywords. It's going to understand like the music and everything, the sound effects behind it. It's going to break down every image frame by frame, and it's going to understand everything that's in that video. It's going to look at all the keywords in the copy. It's even going to analyze the frames and the different images inside the video and understand like their sentiment, the emotions, what's being shown, everything. So their AI is doing all of this analysis, and it's using that to understand who is the person that you are talking to and who are the type of people that engage with this type of content online. And that's how it's going to go out and show your ads to the right people. And so when you think about it this way, what you can start to understand is it's not about going into the ads manager and setting up a couple of ads where you're saying like, oh, I want to target women between the ages of 35 and 65 who are engaged shoppers and are into business. Now what your new strategy needs to be is, how do I create an ad that is so targeted that that audience that I want to speak to can't ignore it? Because your creative is your actual targeting now, and everything you are doing in that ad is deciding who it gets shown to. So you can start obsessing less about your audience settings and more about your ad creative, which brings me to point number 2. And that is that your ad needs to be a dog whistle and not a megaphone. The megaphone approach is trying to get everybody's attention with broad generic messaging. And the dog whistle approach is speaking very specifically to the right person so only they hear it, which is honestly the opposite of what most people I see doing with their advertising. Because where most people get this wrong is they're afraid to exclude people. They want to have the biggest audience. So they're trying to talk to everybody to drive as many clicks as they can. And they create ads that could basically apply to almost everyone. The problem is when you're speaking to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. With the dog whistle approach, it's exactly like a dog whistle, right? You blow the whistle and the only people that hear it are the people that are supposed to. So your ad should use very specific messaging, very specific language. It should talk to very specific people about very specific pain points. So let me give you an example. If you are selling something to e-commerce store owners, it would be one thing to say, run an ad that's like, hey, are you struggling with your e-commerce store? But that is super broad and could apply to basically anybody who is running any kind of e-com. Now, if you had an ad that said something like, hey, are you tired of spending thousands of dollars a month on UGC content only to get back a bunch of lame videos? Now you're speaking to a very specific person who is going through a very specific problem. And yes, you're going to exclude a lot of e-commerce store owners, but that is a dog whistle to somebody who has that exact problem. One of the reasons this works so well is because you can use your ad copy to pre-frame, pre-qualify, and pre-sell the right people. So what you end up with is you actually have higher conversion rates going through your funnel. And as we'll talk about in a further point, what you can do is you can train the Facebook algorithm to only send you the right people. Before we get into exactly how to do that, let's talk about lesson number 3, which is most people are selling the wrong thing in the wrong way. One super common issue that I see with a ton of businesses is they had something working with organic traffic, whether that was some kind of course or some kind of offer or coaching program, whatever that was. And then because they were successful with that, their thought was, great, well, let's just take this and run ads to it. And what you find when you typically do that is usually right out the gate, you get a little bit of sales. And oftentimes it's because like you have some people who are aware of your brand, they're in your audience, maybe they're seeing your social media, and you start showing your ads to those people and they already have some familiarity with you, so they start converting. But then once those sales go away and you are just dealing with cold traffic, and I mean like people who have never heard of you before, it just stops working altogether. And that's because these people don't know you. They don't know who you are. And so you need to have a cold traffic friendly offer. And so one of the most important things when it comes to running ads is you need to design your entire strategy around running ads. You don't want to take something that worked for organic and try to just run ads to it. So a couple of things that make a really good cold traffic offer is that you need to solve a very specific problem for a very specific group of people in a way that is unique and different that they haven't seen before. I mean, I can't stress this enough, but like if someone sees your ads and they have the thought process that crosses their mind that's like, oh, I've seen this before, you're already losing. Another thing that is super important is you have to be able to make the economics work out on paper. I've got a bunch of videos on this channel where I talk about basically the only two funnels that we run ads anymore, which is basically either like a high ticket sales call funnel or a low ticket offer. The reason we only run those two kinds of funnels is because those are the ones where we can actually make the economics work, meaning we can actually put money into the platform. And before we even get to actually running ads, but just in a spreadsheet by doing some modeling, we can make this make sense. Because one thing I learned a long time ago is like, if you can't make your funnel work on paper, it's definitely not going to work when you start running ads to it. And so really common mistakes that I see people doing is they're going way too broad. The value is unclear. They sound like everybody else, or they just don't strategically have the right funnel in place. But if you have a great offer and you have the right type of funnel set up, running ads becomes the easy part, which brings me to lesson 4, which is that you can't run ads in a vacuum. So a lot of people think like if they push the right buttons on Facebook, that they're going to have success. But the reality is if you're selling expensive stuff, which is what we talk about a ton on this channel, your online presence, your brand, everything that you do outside of running ads is going to impact the conversion rates of your funnel. I mean, just think about it this way. When is the last time that you saw one single image ad and clicked on it and were willing to go spend $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 with that company? The answer is probably never. What most people want to happen when they're running ads is they want people to see their ad, click on it, and then they only want to talk to people who are showing up super ready to buy whatever they have to sell right away. Which is like, yeah, dude, you and everybody else would love to have a calendar full of just completely ready to go buyers that have absolutely no objections at all. But that's just not how people actually work. I mean, really what happens is someone is probably going to click on your ad. They're going to check you out. They're going to go to your social media page. They're going to open up a new tab. They're going to do some research. They're going to leave. They're going to go talk to some friends. They're going to come back. They're going to do some research on your brand. And then maybe after they see your ad a few times, they'll click on it. They'll actually book a call and they'll show up on your calendar. And the thing is, if when they go do research, they can't find anything about you online, or they just find bad things about you online, they'll just stop considering you. Because at this point, no one wants to buy a high ticket offer from some completely unknown brand when they have a ton of other options. So you need a way to show up and convince people that you're credible, that you're experienced, and that you're trustworthy. And your content and your brand can do this selling for you online. And without this kind of foundation, it can be really hard to scale. But when you do have this kind of content mode online, what happens is your ads become the thing that drive awareness. And then the brand becomes the thing that actually builds up trust and builds up that resonance and helps convert people into customers. So that brings me to my last point, which is the algorithm is not your enemy. Honestly, most people fight and complain about the Facebook algorithm, but it can be one of your biggest assets if you will learn how to train it correctly. And honestly, this is one of the most technical parts of media buying these days. Because see, the way the algorithm works is every time someone engages with one of your ads, and they click on it and they go to your website and they do any kind of activity, which is like becoming a lead, filling out a form, filling out an application, booking a call, buying, all of those are signals that get sent back to Facebook when you've set up your pixel right. And then when you're setting up your campaigns and you're choosing your campaign objective, whether that's like, I want more leads, I want more calls, I want more customers, Facebook is incredibly good at getting you exactly what you ask for. The problem is most people have trained their pixel on either mediocre or just straight up bad data. So imagine you're running some kind of lead magnet and you're just optimizing for leads, and it's anyone who opts into this thing. How many of those leads are actually customers? Chances are probably like a single digit percentage of those people are actually good leads that might actually buy. And so what you're doing is you're telling Facebook, hey, here's all these mediocre people coming into my business. Go get me more people like this. Now, the best thing you can do is figure out a way to actually qualify your leads and then train Facebook only on what's a qualified lead. Because what ends up happening is Facebook gets really good at sending you exactly what you're asking for. And so if you can build this feedback loop with some kind of third-party tool or some kind of automation where you're just training Facebook on exactly what you want. It will learn how to go find those people. And what happens over time is Facebook gets better at finding those people, your cost per acquisition goes down, your conversion rates go up, and your results get more predictable. And so that's it. Those are my 5 lessons. The first one is that Facebook ads are way more about creative than it is targeting or some kind of technical setup in the ads manager. The second one is that your Facebook ads should be a dog whistle and not a megaphone. The third one is that most people are selling the wrong thing in the wrong way. The fourth one is that you can't run ads in a vacuum. Your brand matters a lot. And the fifth one is that the algorithm is not your enemy. It's on your side if you will train it correctly. But what you might notice about all 5 of these things is pretty much everything that we've talked about is not something in the actual ads manager. And this is something that I've been saying for years, which is that most of the hard work that happens when you're running ads happens off the ads manager. The offer you set up, the funnel you set up, the strategy you choose, your creatives, how you set up your pixel data and all that stuff, all of that is happening before you actually log into the ads manager and start running ads. But when you do all of that stuff right, the actual stuff that happens inside the ads manager should be the easiest part. And it really makes you start thinking about the entire system as a whole and not just what's happening with your ads. So hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, please hit that like, subscribe, because that really does help me make more videos like this. If you have any questions, just drop them down in the comments below. I've also got some more videos going deeper into the actual offers and ads and how we run all that stuff down in the description below, so check those out. Otherwise, I probably got some more videos popping up over here that you might like. That's the end of this video. I hope you have a great day out there, and I hope to catch you in another video soon.